Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Marketing Matters. I'm Sarah Touchstone, Landmark Titles, social media marketing strategist and educator, and I have the pleasure of bringing you Marketing Matters live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. I also get the pleasure of bringing amazing guest speakers on. This is it's a variety show. You know, we get a little bit of this, we get a little bit of that, we get a little bit of marketing, we get a little bit of sales. Everything is on here is information that's going to help you to continue to build up that real estate business. So today we've got Deanna Bone on, and she is amazing. We've had her on here before. I've actually had the pleasure of going to some of her classes, and she's going to be launching a new series. Speaking of classes, she's a wealth of information, and some of the tactics that she implements in her business are really outside the box thinking. It's so simple and yet so underutilized. So when you are the agent that is out there and you're doing what other people are not doing, guess what? You're going to get that business and those clients that, the other agents that are not doing this are not going to get. So Deanna, I'm going to toss it over to you. I know you've got a great presentation to share with us about new real estate market, new year, and new you.
Yep, absolutely. So it says here, this will stop other screen. Okay, so I can hit, because I'm going to share my screen. So does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody see? Can you see my screen? There it is. There. All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm super excited. Sarah, just, this is going to be an open. If you have questions that show up, will you please let me know? It doesn't have to be at the end or anything. So again, like you were saying, I'm Deanna Bone. I'm actually the CEO and team leader of the Southwest Home Team. I'm also the district director and mentor for Fathom Realty out here in Phoenix in the Southeast Valley. So I'm just super excited to be here today and kind of introduce you a little bit about myself and my lovely team and how we work, right? So the very first thing I want to talk about is, we were talking about earlier today, I cannot do anything without at least backhanding and saying congratulations to my team, because I could not be here and do this if it wasn't for these two ladies. So I always like to take a minute to say, here's the Southwest Home Team. It's also important to understand I'm not a huge team. There's people out there that have, 30, agents under their team. And I think that's important to know the number of the members in the team. So we have 3 of us, but we're celebrating 20 years of service this year, and we've completed over $81 million in gross sales volume. Another thing that I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself before I get into it is I was one of the panelists on the Brian Buffini Peak Experience back in 2022. I'm doing a book release here in September, so I cannot wait to get that out to everybody. And then I've been a podcast guest for 2 national podcasts, which is Realty with Rachel, which if you guys have not been on it, this is just for real estate agents, realtors talking to realtors. That is amazing podcast. So I've got to put my hats off to Rachel, and it's based right here in Arizona. And then I've been on Chiseled with my dear friend, Rob. So the reason why I say this, though, is I don't want to impress you, but to impress upon you that you need systems. And if you have the right systems, those systems are going to improve your business if done correctly. And that's kind of what I'm hoping just to do a little bit of tad bit to open up the door of the Southwest Home Team, kind of show you how I mentor agents, how I teach them what I do. So let's go right into the Southwest Home Team and what we look at every single day. The very first thing we have to know, we have to understand where we came from and where we're going into. You have to remember for the last 8-9 years, we have been in a speed market. Very, very quickly, you just put a sign out there, boom, we got 20 offers. Well, now we are going into a professional market. And I can tell you, all of us professionals, we all got kind of lazy over the last 3, especially the last 3 years. I know I was one of them. And so we have to really look at that and go, okay, if we are in a professional market, what has our past shifts market told us? So what did we learn back in 2007, 2008 with that huge recession? And then what did COVID teach us, right? So one of the things that I've learned is the number one thing these past markets have taught us is we have to pivot fast, right? So if we're going to pivot, I always have to ask myself, what are the pivot points that we can take right now? And so hopefully I can give you some of those tips. One of the things that you want to start doing is thinking about marketing for tomorrow, okay? Because you are first and foremost in the marketing business. You're not in real estate. The byproduct is we buy and sell real estate. But really, if we don't market right, our doors and phones don't ring. So that's why we have to start marketing for tomorrow. We have to focus on setting a schedule that is non-negotiable. So you really have to hone in on your calendar. I always tell everybody, if it's not on my calendar, it's not getting done. So you really have to hone in on your schedule. You have to get your financials in order as well, right? We have to make sure to save for those rainy days, just like everybody else. Not only that, when you get your financials in order, you can teach your clients how to also get their financials in order. So start learning how to lead by examples. And then, of course, use your downtime wisely. I really, really preciously enjoy my downtimes, and you guys have to learn how to do that. So these are just some of the things the past market has taught me that I always want to reach out and teach realtors how to do. So let's start talking about where are some good points that you should be pivoting right now, if you haven't already started. Obviously, the buyer presentations need to change. Our seller presentations need to change. Really honing in on agent-to-agent referrals are going to be so important in the up and coming years. Becoming part of our clients, our databases, financial advisory board, that's something that's totally different that realtors have not really thought about. Get moving on videos, texts, and social medias. I know people don't like those. I personally don't, but I can tell you it's been one of the biggest impacts in my business. And I don't do it to go after strangers, everybody. I do it to touch my database in other areas. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And then get really good with contact care and community. I am a huge Brian Buffini follower. That is one of the reasons why I was on the panel at Peak Experience. And I can tell you the contact care and community that you're going to do with your database is going to help mix that up and start getting your deals moving at a much different level than what most people have ever even dreamed of. And then, of course, the very bottom one is start building wealth yourself so that you can show it how to be done. Again, this is one of the things I think realtors forget to do is tell clients about your successes in real estate and your challenges in real estate. And if you start doing that and start showing them you personally in your personal life what you're doing, they're going to trust you more. And it's amazing when I share my story with my database of what I've done over the years. They just totally will collapse onto you and just say, oh my gosh, yes, you are the person because I trust you because you're where I need to be. So those are just some of the pivot points that I hope everybody is starting to look at. I'm sure there's more pivot points out there, but these are the ones that I really honed in on the last 6 months of the year of 2022 in order to get us ready for 2023. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the buyer presentation and the seller representation. I'm going to tell you guys, I now do these online. Every single buyer and seller I meet now, I meet them the first time on Zoom. And it is such a different game changer to do that because it allows me the opportunity to educate my clients and what we are going to talk about. And it's almost like I like to tell people it's the coming to Jesus talk, right? And not only that, that is my first introduction into them to see, do I even want to work with them and do they want to work with me? I'm going to tell you, buyers and sellers really, really enjoy this. It has been such one of the biggest game changers in my business, specifically because what I bring up when I talk to them online. I actually have a buyer presentation and a seller one that we chat about. And I always tell my agents, it's so important on what you are going to cover that's going to make or break your next deals with these clients. This here is actually a sample of a buyer agenda in my actual presentation right here. I'm not going to go into all of them because obviously we could be here for hours. That's why I'm going to be doing those classes that are coming up, and I'll show you those classes at the end. But I want to point out two things that are so important, one on the buyer presentation and one on the sellers. If you see that blue arrow, you're looking at your investment. When I'm going down, just so you know, every single item on this agenda is in my presentation for my buyers. So we go over every single step. The very bottom one is called your investment. That, my friends, is where I talk about how I get paid. I know a lot of people do not like to cover that with the buyers because they think we're free because the sellers pay us. That is not true. And as we all know, with NAR and the lawsuits that were going out there, you cannot say you're free. So you better be bringing up how you get paid. And this is a very, very important slide that I have. And I can tell you, ever since I started doing this, I do say what my minimum is. And I tell my seller or my buyers that the seller, yes, does help with that, but they do have to compensate and pay for the difference. And let me tell you, it has totally been a game changer in my buyers. And people are always like, well, how many buyers did you lose? Because the buyers are like, I'm not paying you. Honestly, in the last now 5 years, we've only lost 2 buyers. So to me, I think the odds are pretty good, but you better be having that on your buyer agenda. Now, if you notice, it's almost the last thing I bring up on the buyer agenda, but on my sellers, it's the very first thing I bring up. The reason why it's the very first thing, I do not talk about how I get paid last, because I have learned that the sellers have that in their head the whole time. So they don't hear your presentation at all, because the whole thing they're going, what's this going to cost me? What's this going to cost me? What's this going to cost me? So I turned it around to say, this is the very first thing we talk about. And yes, it's the very first slide. That has also been a game changer, because of course they're always like, well, is that negotiable? Is it not? And I'm like, absolutely not. It's not negotiable. And here's why I'm going to show you we're different. So now they know what I charge, and I'm going to show them why my value is there with all the other slides underneath that. Again, total game changer by making it number 1 on it. And again, when I do my classes, guys, I will actually bring this out and show you how I do it, my dialogues and everything. We just don't have time on today's call. The next thing that you really want to start pivoting into is agent to agent referrals. I can tell you this here has been one of the biggest game changers in my business. I have honed in on the last few years on reaching out to realtors in other states as well as other cities to get referrals coming in. And this is a whole nother different way of looking at real estate. A lot of agents are like, why the heck would I care what another agent can do? Well, tell me, we live in one of the biggest transient states. People are moving in and out of Arizona consistently. So we need to have those partnerships with other realtors so that we can also help our clients move in and out of Arizona as quickly and easy as possible. But think about this, it creates a steady flow of high quality, high price point clients. The line of trust is already built between you because that agent has already sold you. They know how to talk to that client about you. You know, it adds another pillar of business to your real estate career. So I have a database, right, that's, you know, referring me, but then I have a whole nother pillar of business from realtors that are sending me referrals every single day. And of course, it's cheaper than buying leads. I can say that, or clicks, as I call them, from Zillow or any other online source. And it's definitely a faster turnaround than open houses. I can tell you how I do it is I actually have a cup of coffee with realtors all over the country and within Arizona. And each one of them, I have gotten just in the last 3 years over 600,000 in gross commissions from just realtor to realtors. And this is a whole nother thing. I'd love to spend just the whole hour on my coffees over the miles. But again, we'll get to that and we'll show you guys how to do it. But I just want to give you couple cents here. In order to do this, you have got to become a hunter on where to be introduced to other agents. I can tell you CE classes are one of my favorites. Yes, even in Arizona. Do you know how many realtors I've come across in my state that do not go more than a few miles outside of their comfort zone? I know agents that refuse to come out of active adult communities, and they will call me to refer me to everybody outside of that. Same thing with the West Valley and the East Valley. I take all my CE hours on the opposite side of the city because I know those realtors don't want to come to the East Valley. Well, then I'm going to sit there and talk to them because they're going to refer me because they don't want to go from Glendale to Mesa or vice versa. So I have learned to become a hunter. Where can I find realtors? I go to realtor events all over the country. I go to NAR events. I go to AAR events. There is just so much I do that I hunt. And when I go, I'm very, very consistent on what I want and what I need. I tell you, I find out what states are moving here or where are my clients moving out of. You know, these are things that title can help us with, you know, census boards can help you with. There's so easy ways to find out where are people moving away from Arizona. Get a hold of those realtors. Where are they moving from? We all know one of the biggest states was California. So you should be going down National Association Realtors list of realtors in California. Give them a call and say, you know what, can we get to know each other a little bit better? I'd love to get to know you, have a cup of coffee over Zoom and get to know each other better and be a referral partner back and forth. Do it. It makes such a big difference. Have a cup of coffee with them, build that referral partner, make it part of your marketing plan. Remember when I said market for tomorrow? This is something that I do. I can tell you that I myself do 4 to 6 of these a week. They're about 30 minutes to 60 minutes long, and they are part of my marketing plan. So these are non-negotiable times on my calendar. Remember when I said, you know, scheduling is so important on your calendar? They're already built into my calendar. And I can tell you, I am booked out on my coffees through April right now. So again, these agents are waiting to chat with me. They're on my schedule, but it is so amazing and powerful when I'm on there, how we've gotten and built referral business back and forth. This to me is one of my favorite things that I've done outside the box that realtors will not do. And I don't understand it. They'd rather buy Zillow leads than have a cup of coffee with another agent in another state. Another thing that I was talking about being a pivot point is becoming part of your clients, your databases, financial advisors. Our problem is as realtors, we only look at our clients and tell them, when you want to buy or sell, call me. No, we want our clients to call us every time they talk to their CPA, every time they talk to their financial planner. I want them calling me as well. I have clients right now that text me and go, hey, Deanna, I'm updating my net worth. Can you please tell me how much my house is? I don't trust Zillow. That's what I want them to do. How I started doing that is I do real estate reviews for my database. Every single person that owns a home, rather I help them buy it or not, if they're in my database, they get what's called a real estate review. All it is, guys, is I print up an RPR report. It's real quick. It's real easy. I have a cover letter that covers it, and I send it to them. Then once I send them this information, I follow it up with a video text. I actually video text from my phone, and I do them one at a time. It's very time consuming, but it's very personal, and it turns and flips like you would not believe, the listings and the buyers. And especially when they start talking to you about their net worth. And my object with the video is to get in front of them in their house. I always deliver something with me. This is actually a picture of me on social media that I just did this year, where I'm telling them, hey, let's get your net worth going. I don't care if they want to sell their house. I want them to go out, maybe buy a second house, buy a third house, or yet talk to their kids about, hey, we're talking to them now about, don't go and save for college. Let's buy a house to pay for college in the future. So these are things that I'm teaching them about net worth. So your goal needs to be to become their trusted advisor, even if they're not looking to buy or sell. Again, this is something so easy and so outside the box that realtors are not doing. They're just trying to hunt for people to buy or sell. Well, I can tell you, I hunt for people that can keep connecting me to more people. The outcome, again, is getting introduced to someone to buy and sell. But that's the outcome. My number one goal is to meet more people that can introduce me to more people. And that's part of this, is becoming their financial advisor. So my clients will talk to me at least twice a year. Hey, Deanna, what's my net worth now? Tell me what my house is. I'm updating my net worth. Okay, that's what we're doing. What I've learned about social media. This one here, Beth would laugh at me, my title rep, because she's seen me start this. This is just absolutely crazy. I come from old school. I'm Gen X. I do not like videos. I do not like social media, but my assistant, operation manager, Candace, is a millennial. And the millennial in her is telling me, Deanna, why are we not on Instagram? Why are we not on here? Why are we not on there? And finally, I said, okay, I broke down and I started doing this. And here's what I've learned. Videos are the new emails. I'm going to tell you, people will respond to my video emails more than typed words. So I do video emails all the time, and it's free on Google. Google actually has a Google video add-on. Put that on your email. I cannot believe how much just that video email has opened up conversations with clients who I haven't even talked to in years until I started doing this. I video text people instead of just type out words. And again, I am so surprised on how videos has just opened that up to a new world. And I can tell you, texting, I've learned, is better than calling them. Most of my clients don't even have voicemail set up, or they don't call me back anyways. But when I text them a video, they respond. It's pretty crazy how much that's opened up conversations. And social media, again, as I said a little bit earlier, I don't look at social media because I want strangers buying from me. That's fine. If they want to talk to me and want to do that, that's great. But what I do for social medias is another touch point for my clients. I had a client that I sold her a home here in Gilbert 7 years ago. Now, I've done all my calls to her over the years. I've done some pop buys. I never could reach her. She never responded, nothing. As soon as she started seeing my videos on social media, she started private messaging me or texting me with questions. Well, now she's turning into a seller who is going to be a $1.6 million sell. Now, I feel it's because of social media, because again, she's never reached out to me for all those years, but now for the last year, because I've been doing the videos on social media, she's like, oh my gosh, my realtor's on here. She goes, Deanna, I see you everywhere. Now, it's the same video I post everywhere. I don't change it up for Instagram or, TikTok or any of that. It's the same videos on all of it. And it has totally been a game changer. So I'm going to tell you, if you don't like it, one of the tips I did is I don't watch it till it hits social media. My assistant will go on there and she does all the posting for me. That's when I watch it, because if I watch it first, I'm going to critique it. I'm going to sit here and not like it. And that's not why we're supposed to do it. The person that I had started with me in the video says, Deanna, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get out there. So that's kind of something that I've always had in the background. How I come up with the ideas for my videos, I watch what people post, and instead of typing it out, I just turn it into a video. If you want to see how some of the things I do, you're welcome to follow me. I'm on all of the pages, but you need to set it up automatically. Now, my best practices, I'm going to tell you, this has been a game changer for me. Tsunami, which Landmark backs up. Talk to your marketing rep. Jason Randolph, guys, it is so dirt cheap to let him do the video editing for you. I do it on my phone, send it to him, and he does it. Good news, I'm going to have him as one of my special speakers on one of my classes, but I wanted to put him out there in case you want to find a little bit more about Tsunami. And by the way, you don't have to be in Arizona to use him. He helps realtors all over the country. So been a whole game changer. I use Hootsuite to make it automatic. We just go out there once a week. We put all our posts out there for the whole week, and then we set it and go. So it's automatic. Newsletters I use is MailChimp because it's free. It fits into my budget. So again, these are just the best practices. I apologize that I'm going fast, but I know we're on a time limit. So I just want to do that for you guys. Here's something that you need to pivot as well, is contact, care, and community. Contact essentially is marketing. That's what that means. Care means you acknowledge your database, say thank you to them. And of course, the community is the togetherness of everyone in your community. I do contact, care, and community in both pillars of my business. Remember, I said there's two. There's my database of people who bought or sold or referred me, but then there's also realtor to realtor. So I have two separate marketings that go out there for realtor to realtor and then to my database. These here are just some of the examples that I've done. Marketing, and like I said earlier, you are in marketing first, real estate second. So you have to understand, if you want to get your phone to ring, you have to market. You don't have to spend big bucks. I can tell you, I do not spend a lot of money on marketing, but what I spend the money on is technology that enhances what I want to do, not take over what I want to do. So I'm very, very specific on what I use in my business. I have to make it consistent, and I have to alternate the marketing between business and personal. I have found when I added things that I've just done as my life goes on, I get more feedback from it. So if you're out for dinner with your favorite spouse, post it. If you're out for dinner with your marketing rep, post it. My assistant and I, we have once a month get-togethers for lunch to go over our marketing for the next month. And we take photos of it and go, ooh, can't wait to see what this is going on. So make it both business and personal. That's going to be so, so important. Acknowledgement. One of the things Brian Buffini has taught me over the years is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That is so important. So are you saying thank you enough to your database? If you're not, you've got a problem. So how do you show your database that you care for them and their families? One of the things that I love telling people is about my kids club. My kids club is I send a birthday card out to my database of the kids that have registered. These are kids that are under the age of 18. I send them a $2 bill. I go and get these from the bank. You can order them, I order 50 at a time. And inside the card, it just says, may your birthday be as unique and fun as this $2 bill. It's a $2 hit, guys. It is so cheap, but it has been so fabulous when I get the videos and calls back saying, oh my gosh, my son was so excited when he got the $2 bill. Hit their hearts, hit their kids. Another thing that I do is I give away poinsettias at Christmas. You could do pies at Thanksgiving. There's so much you can do with it. That was just one that I did in December of 2022. What you see me holding there is one of my vendors donated to me 2 tickets to the pro golf tournament that was just here in January. Well, I didn't want them, so I donated them to my database, and I had a fun get together with them and said, hey, we're going to raise money for charity. Everybody who puts money into this, your name's going to get into a drawing to win these 2 tickets. And that's what I did with my database. So I do spur of the moment ones. I do long ones. We're doing a Fat Cat event for my birthday in March. Yep, I said for my birthday in March, we are doing it. And you'd be surprised how many want to come out and celebrate my birthday. But here's the caveat. We are going to be raising money for a charity that I'm supporting this year. So we're going to have baskets and we're going to have fun. We're taking care of the bowling for them, and people are loving that, but that's how we're bringing the community together. So kind of think about that. What are you doing? Are you doing events on person? Are you doing events online? Just FYI, the tickets that I gave away, that was one we did online. So you can do them both and each way, and it's fabulous how it happens. Teach what you are doing. This is one of the things that I totally believe in. When I was a realtor back out in 2007 and 2008, and just like everyone else, I got hit. So I share my story as much as I can with how I got hit, but how I rebuilt. And that now I own 4 properties, and this is how I do it. And I'm purchasing my 5th one now. Well, let them know that, right? Get to know what you're doing to teach your database. So get your business in order. Do you know your numbers? Do you have a number of transactions that you're doing? What's your average sales price? As agents, when I'm coaching them, I'm always asking them, what did you do the last 12 months? And it's sad when they say, I don't know, I think. No, you should know your numbers. We know our numbers because you can't build off what you don't know. So we need to know those numbers. So start understanding that. You know, get your money and your affairs in order. Get a working budget. Do you have a reserves? Peace of mind. That's what that is, right? We're in a different market. Realtors need to put away for the rainy day, but so do our clients. Invest. Are you investing in what you know, right? If you're investing in real estate, now you can teach your clients how to do that. When a client calls me and says, I want to be an investor and buy a property, my first question to them is, well, okay, do you have your own house? Well, no, I rent. Okay, we're doing it backwards, right? Let me explain to you why you need to buy your own house first, then buy an investment. Why do I know that? Because that's what I had to do. And you teach them that. Start teaching them what you're doing. Do you know your own net worth? Well, if you're going to teach the clients that you want them to be your financial advisor, then you need to have your net worth, and don't be embarrassed to tell them what your net worth is. If your net worth is only 500,000, well, then tell them what your goal is to get it to $1 million. If your net worth is $1 million, tell them what your goal is to get it to $2 million. Let them know that you're there to help them get to there. When I started telling them about my net worth, they were like, I can do this. I can do this. Okay, this makes sense. And that's what I'm doing, is building now a whole business of people who want to build their net worth. So, you know, it's kind of funny as a realtor to tell people selling your house may not be the best thing. What about if we keep this house, but go buy another one? Because they understand my job is to help benefit them first, not myself. So selling their home may not be the best thing. Maybe it's to keep their net worth going. But again, you need to start with yours. So I encourage my realtors to really look into your net worth, your reserves, your investment, your working budget. If you say you can't afford to invest, we'll figure out how you can. Talk to your lenders, talk to other realtors who have done it. That's how I started doing it, and realizing, oh, it's not as difficult as we think. We just got to know how to do it so that we can teach our database how to do it. As we're getting down to the end of what I was talking about, you know, there's a lot of things that I gave out today. I'm just going to ask you to, you know, take one thing and put it into action. One of the favorite quotes I hear is, education without application is just entertainment. There are so many people that come to these classes and they never implement anything. Well, now, you know, what did you do? Learn one thing that you did today and say, I'm going to hone in on that. So then my next question is how you're going to spend the next 8 weeks. Because Sarah, you kind of implemented or talked a little bit about this earlier. We are putting together with Landmark an 8-week course. Everything I taught you today, I'm actually going to go into deeper because I actually have time to do it. So like on March 6th, we're going to talk about buyer representation in an online world. And we're going to talk about how I get the buyers to come online. And I don't mean for us to go find buyers online. I mean our buyers that are given to us by referrals or open houses or however you found them, right? Let's talk about that. And then number 2, part 2 is going to be, how do I get the buyers to pay me instead of worrying about getting paid from the seller? That's going to be a very important thing to know with all the changes and rules that NAR is coming out with because of the lawsuit that they had with the DOJ. And of course, we're going to talk about seller representation online. A lot of people are like, what do you mean you do it online? How come you don't go meet him at the house? Well, of course I meet him at the house, but not first. We're meeting him online first. And then of course, I'm going to talk about the bonus income, you know, agent to agent. I'm going to go into more about real estate and net worth and understanding your role next to a CPA and a financial advisor. We're actually going to have on April 10th, Beth, thank you, Beth, was able to get Jason Randolph to actually come in, and we're going to chat more about the videos, the texts, the social media, and how they can help and how I do it. Because again, I can't teach it if I'm not doing it, and I'm doing it. So, and then of course, May 1st, which is the last one, is getting your house in order, and building wealth starts with you. So I've got some ideas on special speakers and stuff that's going to happen with that. These classes, guys, are all free. There's no, they're all on Zoom. You just got to let Beth know if you're coming. if you have any questions or you want to know more about what I do, you're welcome to scan that QR code that gives you all my contact information, but you're also welcome to email me or call me. I'd be happy to talk to you. I talk to realtors all day long. I'll get back to you and answer any questions you may have. So I hope that was beneficial. I don't know if anyone has questions or anything like that, but Sarah, I'm going to bring it back to you. I'll stop sharing.
Awesome. Deanna, that was such good information.
Thank you.
And I'm looking, I love the fact that you're doing your classes on Zoom as well. Because part of my goals for this 12-week year that we're doing is to take more classes. And so I may pop into some of your classes as well and get some more information.
You're welcome to.
And like I said, I love the fact that they're on Zoom because I'm up here in North Phoenix and
Yep.
you're all the way in the East Valley.
Well, remember too, what did I say? I have so many realtor to realtor referrals. I have agents that are going to be coming on from all over the country. So
that's really, well, yeah, it would be a little bit difficult to bring them down here, but that's the power of Zoom.
Yes. Power of Zoom. It's worth, what is it? $15 a month?
Right.
It's worth it. Thank you.
Absolutely worth it. Well, if you guys have any questions, please let us know. I think everybody is just saying this was just awesome.
Thank
Like
you.
these are the comments across the board. Great info, great stuff. I'm going to go through a couple of upcoming classes that we have. I've actually got Deanna's flyer in there as well. So we'll go over that again. If you guys think of any questions that you do have while I'm going over this, let us know. So we do have our market insights coming up. We're going to get that recorded for you. Today is the 1st of March. So we are on that. This was our monthly webinar that we do on the market stats. However, we do not do the live recording anymore. However, we do record it, we bookend it, and we send it out to you. So we're trying to make it quicker, more accessible, and get this information into your hands. So we used to just, you either had to come on live or you had to request the information. We're trying to get this information because it really is so good. And with our market changing the way it is, you really do need to know what the stats are in your area and get up to date. So reach out to your business development manager for a copy of that recording. We're going to get that done this week and get it out to you guys as soon as possible. Then there is a Chat GPT class coming up this week. If you guys have not heard about this new AI technology, this is something you're really going to want to get familiar with. We're going to be offering some Chat GPT classes here on Marketing Matters as well. I'll be attending this one in person to brush up on it myself. I've been using it the last couple of weeks and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And not just fun, but it's great information. It basically, AI takes information from all across all the informational platforms and gives it to you in this like beautiful little packaged bow. You can ask it for, an Instagram post, and it'll give you extra hashtags. You can ask it for blogs. You can ask it for video scripts. There is just endless amounts of ways that you can be creating content with it. So that's going to be this Thursday in person in Arrowhead from 1 until 3 p.m. And then look, it's Deanna again. She already kind of went over this class. Like I said, I think this is going to be great. I'm going to hop on a few of these as well. Reach out to either Deanna or Beth to get the link for these to attend. And then coming up the end of March, we've got a Wisdom Wednesday. This is about maximizing your open house. If you are out there and wanting to get buyers, you really need to be doing these open houses. But we're going to go over the benefits of it. And did you guys know that you can get a free open house kit with everything that you need to host a successful open house right from Landmark Title? We're going to be talking about a lot of those things. March 22nd, this is on Zoom at noon. And then Deanna, I think we actually have a couple questions.
Okay.
All right. This one is for you. It is the Google video app that you referenced.
Mhm.
What is that one?
Yeah, what it is if you go to Google, you're on desktop, there are add-ons that are free that go to that. It's a video Google add-on. It's not an app, it's an add-on. So just go to there, type in Google add-on video, boom, it'll pop up. It's free and it goes to your emails, and you'll see a little recorder. When you do your emails, there'll be a little recorder that you can hit that and you can record a message.
Nice. And then there's another question. I think this one's for me about AI, working on both Android and Apple. Yes, there are dozens of ChatGPT apps out there right now. Like I said, there's, you just kind of go out there, find the one that works best for you. We'll be covering, like I said, coming up on Marketing Matters, we're going to cover the best apps for Apple and for Android. So you'll want to definitely get in on that as well. I think that's it. I think, once again, we're back to the thank yous, and great job, Deanna. So hop on to some of her other Zooms. If you need a copy of all of her classes that are coming up, like I said, you can reach out to her, you can reach out to Beth, you can reach out to me. They are also available on our Landmark Title Assurance Agency website. We have an events page where we list all of our classes. So go check that out. And of course, thank you, Deanna. That was great information. I can't wait to hop on some of your other classes coming up this month and next month. And of course, thank you to our business development management team. They actually are the ones who invite most of our speakers on Marketing Matters. Like I said, we've talked about Beth and your relationship with them. So if you don't already have a great relationship with one of our business development managers, please let me know. I'm happy to introduce you to them. They are truly amazing. Or even if you do have a relationship and you are not fully utilizing all the tools that we have available for you, reach out to them. We've got Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Patty, Cynthia, Michelle and Prescott, Michael and Renee. You guys are amazing, and I am lucky to have you guys to work with as well. And then, of course,
be here.
Yes. And of course, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring you Marketing Matters and our great speakers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Beyond just the amazing amount of marketing resources we have here, you guys know that we do title and escrow. Yes. And we get 90% of Deanna's deals.
Yeah.
So if you are not using us for title and escrow as well, please think of us on your next contract. We've got 7 great offices here in the Valley, as well as 1 in Prescott and 2 up in Nevada to service all of your title and escrow needs. And we'd be happy, really happy to be on your next contract. That's it for us today, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.